Hello, and welcome back to A Picky Vegan. My name is Erica, and this is Diaries. Today I'm showing you how I make one of my new favorite dishes, which is pasta with some vegetables and some meat, coated in this sauce right here. It's very red. I do not know how to pronounce the name, but it's from this company. And it is their 2 times spicy sauce in a bottle. Now, you might be familiar with the 2 times or X 2 times spicy noodle challenge on YouTube. And I am a big fan of that product. It's really good. It's one of my favorites. But it's not vegan. There's eggs in it. So I stopped eating it. But apparently, that same sauce in a bottle is vegan. It is still a chicken flavor, but it's artificial chicken flavor. So the only thing that's in here that we try not to do too often is soy, but I will definitely make an exception for this because it's so good. And the bottle doesn't have its usual sleeve on it because apparently the actual, packaging it was perforated down the entire side of the bottle. So I thankfully still kept the, let's see here, the nutritional label and the ingredients. So you can go ahead and pause the video to read that. I'm just trying to make sure there's not too much glare. You can still see what it is. There's 1 gram of sugars, 2 grams of carbs, 110 milligrams of sodium. So it's pretty good. But it's one of my favorites. It's still just as spicy in the packet. And I don't remember seeing, whoa, this is cooking faster than I anticipated. Too busy trying to look at labels. Let's turn this all the way down. I didn't see how much you should be adding to your dishes. So currently I add 1 tablespoon. It doesn't look as dark as when you buy the actual package, instant version of it. But it's still just as spicy. So for now I'm doing 1 tablespoon. I might up it to 2, but I'm afraid it'll actually up the spiciness. I don't know. So what I'm doing before the onions cooked faster than I anticipated is I'm sauteing my onions to be kind of crispy, golden brown in a sense. And I'm cooking them in hot chili oil just for more spice, like I didn't have enough. You can also cook it in butter. Butter and vegetables is really good. Or the favorite oil, or the oil of your choice. So sunflower oil, olive oil, avocado oil, whatever you like to use. And there's still a lot of oil left because I actually plan to put spaghetti in the pan. And I'm going to do that so I can get the spaghetti a little crispy. It's one of my favorite ways to eat spaghetti, is just a little crispy and pan fried. And then I'm also adding peppers. I didn't cook the peppers with my onions because they were already pre-cooked. They're just in a container in the fridge. And we're adding some Lightlife ground meat, essentially. It's plant-based ground. And this was also left over. Let me go ahead and add spaghetti. Now, it has taco seasoning on it, but it tastes more like Italian sausage because of the seasonings I added. So I have no problems adding it to this dish, because typically I wouldn't add traditional taco meat into something like this. You could, but I just personally wouldn't. And you'll notice pan frying the spaghetti and letting it crispy is very similar to the Cajun noodle dish that is featured on this channel. So go ahead and look for that video if you want to see how to make Cajun noodles. It's still spicy and it's very flavorful, but it's more on the savory side. This is a sweet heat in a sense, like a chili sweetness. And this is my dinner, so I'm gonna add probably like this much spaghetti, maybe like a touch more. There we go. And then once the spaghetti is a little crispy, because the meat and peppers are already cooked, I'll add them near the end because I really just need them to be warm, not cooked. And spaghetti is also cooked. I just followed the directions on how to cook spaghetti. I added our vegan butter, just help give it a little bit of flavor. And I forget, there's another reason why you add butter to your pasta in the pan. At least We've been doing it in my family forever, but I don't quite remember what the reason is. But we have our own vegan butter made from coconut milk, coconut oil, and sunflower oil. And I believe the video of us making our own vegan butter is on the channel. Now, before the onions cooked faster than I wanted to, what you would typically do is you let the onions just start barely getting cooked. Then you would add your spaghetti. And by the time the onions are a little brown with minimal stirring, you would have some crunchy pieces of pasta on the bottom side. So I'll just have to be very careful with it. I may not get crunchy pasta tonight. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. I just want to make sure it's a little pan fried. And usually I would cook everything on medium, but I had the onions on high just to get the oil hot. And because I was talking about the labels and stuff, I did not pay attention. So, of course, make sure you pay attention to what you're doing when you're cooking and you don't burn something. Thankfully, none of the onions are burned or at least past being edible. But I like things crispy and a little well done, so I personally don't mind. And something else that would be really good in here as well is green peppers. I have, I think, orange and yellow bell peppers. I found that yellow, red, and orange bell peppers have a sweeter vegetable kind of taste, whereas green peppers have a more savory taste. We actually used the green peppers in our fried rice, which should be up already too, I believe. I'm not sure. It's always hard to tell, by the time you record a video, which one goes out first. But it has more of a savory kind of taste to it. So you could add either or to this. It'd be good. And then also jalapenos. We don't have any green peppers or jalapenos, so I'm just settling for onions and bell peppers. But as long as there's some kind of vegetable in there, I'm happy. And the broccoli we've made on this channel would be really good in here as well. I don't have any made right now, actually. It's been a second, so I'll have to make some again soon. That or even spinach would be really good in here. It's pretty much the same as the Cajun noodles video, except we're using a different sauce. And the sauce was just pre-bought. I got it off at Amazon. And I didn't have to make it at all, so saves a little bit of time, which is always nice. And it tastes so good. And it does have a different flavor profile to the Cajun noodles. Both are good, both are spicy. If you didn't know already, we love spicy on this channel. Or at least in this household. I do want to stir spaghetti every so often just to make sure enough of it is getting coated, but essentially I want it to just leave it alone and let it get crispy. For me, I found that just leaving it to do its thing gets it crispier a lot faster and more easily than if I'm constantly stirring it. So now is actually probably a good time to add our peppers and our meat. And we just have some in a container, so I'm just going to take a couple. That's probably enough. And I like my vegetables to be pretty much diced really small. That's just me. So I'm just going to cut them nice and small. Kind of move it around a little bit to make sure I didn't miss any pieces, because it's just a clump of previously cooked peppers. And yes, this does cut the spaghetti in the process, but I'm not worried. It's not a big deal. Okay. Get my tongs. And then for our meat, we're just going to sprinkle some in. And I'm just going to eyeball it. I don't know how much I want quite yet. But since I only have 2 vegetables instead of maybe 3 or 4 that I would have, I'm going to add a decent amount of meat. And it's ground up, so it's pretty small, which is just my excuse to add more. Alright, that's probably enough. And there's still some left over, so I can have it again tomorrow or make something else with it entirely. And that's the Lightlife ground. It's really good. It's a good flavor. It reminds me of there was a company that made Boca meat. It was amazing. And that has a pretty similar taste to meat. And of course I added, for like a sausage flavor, adding sage and fennel, especially fennel, really helps with that. I don't know if fennel is in all sausage or just Italian sausage, but if you want Italian sausage, you add fennel. You don't really have to, but it's just good. Like I said, this is leftover Lightlife ground. So I used it to make nachos recently. So there's a bunch of like taco seasoning. There's some salsa. Actually, I used ghost pepper salsa. So the meat is also spicy, on top of being cooked in hot chili oil, which is spicy. And then I'm adding a sauce that is very spicy. So if you couldn't tell, not just this household, but me specifically, I love spicy food. I think the meat also has the green style hatch chili seasoning as well, which is not spicy to me. Either I don't add enough or it's just not spicy. Okay. So I didn't get any crispy noodles, but that's fine. I don't necessarily want to overcook the onions. I'm going to scrape down the sides. And then typically when you make the packet version of the 2 times spicy sauce, and we're going to shake this really good. It's been in the fridge. Once you open it, it should be in the fridge. Make sure you shake well because it will separate. Typically when you make the instant version of this, you drain most of the broth out, or water, from your noodles, but leave a little bit left. And I found this helps coat the noodles. So we are actually going to add a little bit of water just to help coat the noodles and spread around the sauce. And I think I'm going to add 1/4 water, but I'm going to get a little extra and just kind of eyeball it. Okay, that's probably too much, but it's fine. Let's add a little bit. Don't need a whole lot. I just need to see like a little bit of a pool, I guess, at the bottom. And that should be enough. Then we're going to get our tablespoon. And we're going to add a generous tablespoon to this. Look how red this is, y'all. It's so good. All right. There we go. Like I said, a generous tablespoon. It's basically almost flowing over. And you can use any kind of pasta, really. I mean, typically it's ramen noodles, so I would say spaghettis would probably be best, but I have no doubt you could do this with penne or something. But angel hair or thick spaghetti, thin spaghetti, regular spaghetti, fettuccine, ramen noodles. I've tried it with ramen noodles from a different instant pack when my mom just wanted the broth and not the noodles, so I saved it knowing I had the sauce. And I have actually made it with spaghetti before. It's still very good. It's just a matter of what kind of noodle shape, I guess, do you want to eat it with. And I want to get all the sauce that's in here. And that's probably enough, or at least as good as it'll get. And then now it's just time to stir. And I'm curious to see if maybe because the sauce is in a bottle and it's not a instant ramen thing, maybe you don't add water. Does that dilute it? I don't know. I am tempted to add 2 tablespoons just because I have so much and it's not quite the right color. So it makes me think it needs a little bit more sauce to coat it better. We'll see. Stir it around, turn the temperature up a little bit, almost medium. But this is pretty much it. This is how I make my own, I guess you call it stir fry pasta with the 2 times spicy sauce. And see, there's like a little bit of sauce on the edge. That's definitely what I want. But I think I might add another tablespoon. I'm gonna taste it, just a little check. I am concerned about overdoing it. We'll see. Well, it's definitely spicy. I'm concerned that adding another tablespoon will make it spicier. But it would make the flavor stronger, so maybe just half a tablespoon. Technically, I realized I probably should have poured the water in first, then the sauce, and then added the peppers and sausage last, but it's fine. The flavor's good. It's not as strong as I wanted, which is why I added more of the sauce. And who knows, maybe it won't be spicier. Though I kind of doubt it. If you look at the, like any 2 times spicy noodle challenge from this company, you'll see the noodles are a very dark red. And on camera, it looks yellow and orange. In real life, it's more of a reddish orange. But it's still not the same color. But it still tastes the same in terms of spiciness and the flavor. It's just not a strong flavor. So no, I'm going to experiment with it. I don't want to overdo it. I want to be cautious. All right, and that is done. So let's go ahead and plate this. And I'll see y'all for the taste testing. Okay, and this is the finished product. It pretty much fills up this entire bowl. Everything is cooked. It smells really good. Let's go ahead and try it. It's still probably very hot. It's got a nice level of heat. It's very spicy, but not too far to the point where you can't enjoy it, at least for me. My tolerance for spiciness is very high, so be warned. I would try the instant noodle packet first if you're curious about this sauce. And they do have a version that is not as spicy as the 2 times one. 2 times. So try either one of those first, but adding about half a tablespoon more sauce was good. It didn't up the spiciness, but the flavor is stronger. It's a nice like chili sweetness. Yeah, everything's just good. The onions, the peppers, the plant-based ground meat I have in here. So everything in here is vegan. And of course, my dad likes the sauce a lot, just as much as I do. It's also spicy to him. My mom likes it. She doesn't eat as much, but she does like it. And this is too spicy for my brother Cody. So I pretty much have this to myself. Either way, thank you so much for watching. If you've tried this sauce or their instant noodle packets or something similar, let me know in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.